Hello everyone, my name is Manjunath. I am a faculty at Insights IS. In this video, we will briefly discuss about the 2024 prelims paper, the possible cutoffs, and what should be the strategy for 2024 mains. Now first, if you consider the 2024 prelims paper, according to me, largely this is a much better paper compared to the last 2 to 3 years. Because in the last 2-3 years, the number of ambiguous questions, vague kind of questions has relatively increased. So number of basic questions had drastically come down to the range of almost around 20 to 25 questions. Compared to them, this year, according to me, the sense is back with respect to prelims paper. Number of basic questions have relatively increased. It is probably in the range of 35 to 40. The typical traditional questions from the schemes, from the military army related questions have also increased. Yes, the number of geography questions have increased. The modern India questions have relatively decreased. All those things are there, which every year ifs and buts will always be there. Based on the students' feedback, what I can tell you is those who have put in very serious effort, those whose relatively conceptual clarity have been better, have a very high chance of clearing this year prelims. Let us get into the possible cutoffs based on feedback of multiple students. According to me personally, the possible cutoff might be in the range of 90 to 95 for the general merit category students. The most important factor that we have to consider is CSAT this year has no longer been an eliminator, it has become a kind of qualifier. Whoever had put in serious effort, considering the way CSAT paper was there in the last 2-3 years, have relatively scored either in the 80s or 90s, or even students have crossed even 100 scores. Hence, CSAT will not determine or will not bring down the cutoffs as it did in the last 1 or 2 years. Now, let us categorize the students into multiple groups. Let us say category 1. Those who are getting prelim score in the range of 95 above or probably even 100 above. So, these category of students are very safe. That means you have a more or less we can assume you are going to write mains this year. So please don't waste time. If you want, take 1 or 2 days break, but quickly come back to your mains preparation, because always keep it in mind, this time you have around 90 days left for mains, because mains is going to start from September 20th, 2024. Now, category 2 will be the students in the range of 90 to 95. You are probably in the touch and go situation, because even one question here and there, you never know, but you have a very high chance of clearing prelims. Take a few days break and come back and start your mains preparation. Now let us say you are in the range of 85 to 90. That means probably you have less chance of clearing prelims. If in case as 2-3 questions in UPSC answer key varies, if your luck favors you, you will also get a chance to rate this year mains. Now category 4 are those students who are getting less than 80. You may have a very less chance of clearing prelims this year. Then again, what should be my preparation for 2024 mains then? Then even for that, you have to understand that it depends on what is your level of preparation for the mains. Category 1 will be those students who have continuously given maybe 2, maybe 3 mains, or those who have already given 1 or 2 interviews, or probably you might already be in the service. Maybe according to me, you don't have to do anything drastic changes for this year mains. Just repeat what you have done last year, but analyze maybe what kind of probable mistakes you might have done last year. Now let us say category 2 kind of students, those who might have given 1 or 2 mains. Maybe you still don't have your subtopic wise notes ready. Maybe your notes are still scattered. There is no one consolidated notes. You might have, if in case you had given mains last year, you might have realized that, okay, I'm not recalling my definitions very quickly. First thing, what you have to make sure is that get your subtopic wise notes ready, because it is very crucial. If you don't have that, then you can't focus on more of revision. Automatically PYQ answer writing, everything will get affected. It's a chain link. Always understand 3 to 4 steps matter a lot for the mains preparation. 1, you should have subtopic wise notes for each and every point in the syllabus. Point number 2, you should revise them at least 3 to 4 times. Point number 3, you should write PYQ answers for at least last 5 years. Then you should write test series, because only if you write a lot of answers, especially in the 3R format, get it reviewed, focus on your what mistakes you have to improve, all those things, and then if possible you should have a short notes for every GS paper. Let us say, for example, if you talk about GS2 short notes, it should be in less than 100 sheets, so that what will happen, you can revise your notes. Maybe tomorrow morning is your GS1, you should be revising it today, at least able to revise it once. Tomorrow will be your GS3, tonight you should be able to revise it at least once. If that is your level of preparation, that means chances of getting very high scores, maybe 120 plus, maybe 110 plus, will be very, very high. Now let us say you are a category 3 student wherein you have just finished your coaching classes, you might have given this attempt, but you were sure that maybe you had not revised multiple times, or you gave a serious attempt, but you know that you might not be clearing this year. according to me, Category 1 students do whatever you have done last year. But for the Category 2 and Category 3 students, Insights IAS will be launching intensive bridge course, all the GS papers, which will be starting from this Sunday, that is 23rd June 2024. So we'll be starting first from GS2 paper, and because I'll be handling polity, governance and social justice parts of GS2, and then Shashank sir will be handling the international relations part. Let's understand what is the major mistakes that people commit in GS2 paper. Probably first one, as I keep telling, normally you may not have one place consolidated notes. You might not have written answers for PYQs. If you have done the analysis of the previous year questions from 2013 to 2023 mains, more than 13 to 14 questions will more or less repeat from the themes. Every year, if you have looked at the GS2 questions, you will have a question, one or two probably, either parliamentary effectiveness or anti-defection law, or Rajya Sabha related question or speaker related question. Panchayats, every year you will have a question on either judicial activism, judicial overreach, judicial review, basic structure, constitutional morality, either on SHG or NGO or pressure groups, either higher education or primary education, healthcare related issues. Even in IR, you might have seen that possibly either it will be on India, China, or maybe an international body like SCO, or maybe related to UNESCO or something. You can say 2/3 of the questions are repeated. Compared to prelims, always remember prelims syllabus is very, very vague. Even if you look at the UPSC notification, there is no detailed syllabus. But with respect to mains, there is a very detailed syllabus. In fact, GS2 itself has 19 subtopics. You can assume out of 20 questions, 19 subtopic means each and every subtopic will have a question in GS2, which is largely true. Now, another major mistake that do in GS2 paper specifically, what I can say is that the substantiation part will be relatively missing. Let's say, for example, the facts related to either Supreme Court cases or committees, it can be second ARC, Sarkaria or Punchi or NN Vora committee or Indrajit Gupta committee related to election reforms or Santanam committee related issues, articles, those kind of substantiations might be missing, or the keywords that are required in GS2. For example, continuously you have to refer to keywords like parliamentary sovereignty or constitutional supremacy, judicial activism, judicial overreach, or that parliament is the temple of democracy, or elections or the festival of democracy. Lot of quotes from Ambedkar, Nehru, all these statements might be missing. Whoever comes up with those substantiation will normally get either half or 1 mark more in each and every question. That itself is the difference between a serious candidate who has attempted all the 20 questions, who will end up scoring in maybe 100, 105, or a topper who might score 120, sometimes maybe 125 also. Another common mistake which students commit in GS2 is that maybe largely they focus on the polity part, neglecting the governance and social justice part. Or you may assume that, okay, the typical Lakshmikant notes will work for mains also. Yes, the basic conceptual clarity from Lakshmikant will still work, no doubt about that. But the mains related answer writing approach you may not get if you stick your approach only and only if you confine your approach to Lakshmikant. Now in that aspect, so in this GS2 bridge course, we'll be focusing on a 3-staged approach. First, we'll be focusing on the conceptual clarity on all the 19 subtopics. Second, we will literally write answers from 2013 to 2023 previous year questions. And then the third, we'll focus on the probable questions based on the last 1 or probably 2 years current affairs. We'll be largely discussing 80 to 100 probable questions for GS2 paper itself. Course will be for around 60 to 80 hours. Every day we'll be having 6 hours of classes. It will be of 3 hours, 2 sessions each, which will be starting from 23rd June 2024, that is from this Sunday. Course fee will be 7,500. Other aspects, you can look at the link provided below. You'll get all the features of the program. All the best.